Hey, I'm Grant. Welcome to my channel, Simply Nick. Doing some maintenance on the kayak. It's cold and windy. You know, winter. It is what it is. Come on, I'll show you what I'm doing with the kayak.
I think you're really cool. I like you a lot. Maybe we can hang out or something. Hey, I think you're really cool. I like you a lot. Maybe we can hang out or something.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I guess you can tell by where the kayak's setting that this is going to be a maintenance video. And I thought I'd walk you through it really quickly. I had installed these extra rails here and there. And then up front, I might as well go up here and show you. Here and over there, in the process of filming last week's little jaunt around South Carolina, I got swamped up on oysters. And to keep from, I was afraid that they were way up out of the water. A boat came up behind me, just ripping in its wake and the follow-on wakes. The first wake put me up on the oysters, and the rest of them just shoved me up further sideways. I was terrified. I gotta tell you, probably the first time I've been like, oh no, on the kayak since I got it. Yeah, since I started kayaking. I got sideways to the shore and caught between a boat's wake and the shore, and the wake was just plowing me right up on shore, and it happened to be an oyster bed. So to get the thing off the oyster bed without ripping and scratching the piss out of it any further than it was, the nose of the boat was way up on there, and I didn't want to get all the way up on shore and have to walk through all these oysters with just flip-flops on. So I opted to get out, pick up on it, and just kind of ease it up off the oysters. And in the process, it ripped that bolt that's like this out of its mount inside the kayak. Now, unfortunately, the problem with that is, for me to get to the access point, I'll show you all this in a minute, all this has got to come off. The tubes, the facing plate, the gaskets, that's got to come out, and then I can get to that screw right there. And what I'm done is I bought some washers and some stainless steel nuts to go on the stainless steel bolt. There's a screw that goes in there, and you know, pain in the butt, but what are you gonna do? I'll be back. Okay, the first step in this repair took place out on the water, and that is to say mean words to people that don't know what wake zone is, and taught them some selected sign language. The next thing would be is, as you can tell, those are rod tubes, and much like this side here, those three rods were there, so they had to come off. The stand-up bar is probably going to need to be pulled, but I'm going to try to do it without it. Inside the hole, those are the rod tubes after they're, and they go on that backing plate right there. So I'll be taking the screws off the face plate and then pulling the whole assembly out that way, or at least loosening it enough that I can get my hand in there, because that is the stainless steel screw. Not bad after 2 years of salt water. That is the backing plate that I had made to anchor these two so I wasn't cracking the hull. The rounded shape fits inside right here underneath, and you can tighten up against it. And I guess having everything that you're never going to use in that tub here, and wave action, put too much, well, turn this thing in from a 150-pound kayak to a 2-tonner. And when I yanked up on it to get it out of the oysters, it just simply ripped the bolt through the threads that I'd put in that nylon, or whatever that is, material rod I'd bought off eBay. So now on the back side here, I'm going to put a washer and a nut and then thread it down through there after first passing through there. Then it'll have a solid anchor and it wouldn't happen again. And I told myself, hey, buy some extra nuts and bolts and just go, there's 8 of them, 4 in the front, 4 in the back, just replace them. And seeing the class 3 pain in the you know what that this is turning into, I'll do it as it needs to. I don't need to look for jobs. So I'll get right back to you as I get the plate out and out of the way. Okay, what I've wound up having to do, it's kind of ugly. I'll have to sand it and trim that down with a utility knife, as I drilled it bigger so that the bolt would fit down inside there further, and then heated it up with the butane torch, and now we start slapping it back together. So the bolt will come in through here with a screw, and the nuts there, and I'll tighten up against it, pull it up against the kayak, spread the torque force a little further across that injection molded hull, and lessen the chance of cracking. Okay, it's in. Now it's lining those 4 holes up with the backing plate and the gasket to make sure water doesn't get around it and inside the hull. That'll be fun. You know, like real fun. Okay, it is back in and it is snug up against there. If this ever comes apart again, I'm going to put some sealant there because the gasket is pretty much trashed. I don't even think it was from me doing it so much as it was folded when they installed the thing, and it just was never right. So, oh look, my Yak Attack boomstick sitting in the back of the kayak. I'm surprised that didn't go flying out down the freeway or down the road getting here, or the car wash when I hosed it off. So now this utility plate goes back on, and we shall see what we shall see. More to come. Okay, the plate, the accessory plate. Now, I don't know about you, but putting your pliers and a knife and stuff up here when the seat's way back there, that's a stretch. That's why I opted for the seat attachment. Plus it's just something else to spend money on, and you know, that's how that goes. So I just wanted to point out that that is a existing factory hole on that side as well, and I've mounted this crossbar there, it's a 21-inch, I think it's a 21-inch accessory piece of the Hobie H-rail, or whatever they call it, the octagon. I think it's called H-rail. And then you just buy the accessory in pieces. And I just opted, instead of drilling holes or anything, to mount it in those holes across, and that seemed to be about the perfect spot for it. I don't even think I had to chop that down to get it to go across there. And I know people have I get asked all the time, doesn't that, how do you, you know, that's so far away. Well, it's perfect distance away. It doesn't get in my way per se. So it's actually the right about ideal place for that 9-inch fish finder. And for sure, if you were gonna put like a 12-inch or 10-inch fish finder monitor on this thing, it would have to, you'd want it up there. You wouldn't want it hanging up off the side right there. Because if you ever had to paddle, you'd be up, you know what creek. And I'm not talking Archer's Creek. What? Without a paddle. So that's why it's there. No, it does not get in the way. Tubes are back. The factory rail is back. That's the factory mounting point. And the last thing to do before I button it up is to put that back in with the through bolt and a washer and stainless steel lock nut, or nylon nut, whatever that is. So let me do that and I'll come back in. All right, it's all put back together. The rods are back in there. Everything is secured, tied down. I need to tighten up that strap. But other than that, this thing is ready to go out and slay some fishes, which may happen tomorrow, depending on the weather. It was kind of ugly out today, raining. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching this video. If you own a Hobie Pro Angler, I would for sure put some caulk in there. Not a lot. You're not trying to seal up a 1-inch gap. Just something to keep the water from easily egressing into the or ingressing into the hull of the boat. And make sure the screws are all lined up with a backing plate, so you're not cross-threading them. And it is amazing how yellow this thing looks in this picture. When looking at it in person, it is way on the orange side. So this one will come to a close as a successful adventure. Thanks for watching. Bye.